Hello, welcome to No Sevens Dice Club. Have you been to a casino where you have to have action on every single play and you cannot sit out? I've had that experience happen to me just recently. If you noticed, one of my videos was at the Silver Slipper right there in Hancock County, Mississippi, and I experienced that also at another casino a little bit further away in Biloxi, Mississippi at Treasure Bay. Both of them are small casinos. They wanted action at every single play. So I'm going to tell you how to fight back and how to win a little bit of money or lose a little bit of money playing this strategy. So that way you are showing action if you do decide to stay at that casino. If they're demanding to show you action, my best recommendation is just go ahead and pack up your chips and go down to another casino. But I know a lot of you do not have a lot of casinos where you go. If they do demand action, they have maybe like one or two casinos, and they know that they can demand action at every single play. A lot of casinos, and as long as I've been playing craps, have never demanded action. The only thing that they've ever asked for at a lot of casinos is to show you that you have to show action on the previous on the shooter that's getting that's next to you. So that way, when you get the dice, you've already shown action. You're not just waiting for your turn when there's a crowded table. And when I would do that, I would just put $25 on the 4 or 10 or whatever for one or two plays, and I'll pull down my bets. I showed action, and I'm ready to play. But for some of these casinos, that is no longer the case. They want action on every single play. You can no longer pull down your bets after one or two turns. You have to have a working bet non-stop in the field of play, so that way they're either that way they can literally just take the money away from you and start dwindling down your profits. So I'm going to show you how you can fight this, and there's two different ways. One of my subscribers, Johnny, me and him have been going back and forth on how to fight this. He's from what I believe, he is a previous dealer, and always a great wealth of information. Me and him kind of been going back and forth on how to play this, and I'm going to show you how I played it at the Silver Slipper and how I played it at Treasure Bay. And when I played it this way, the casinos were not happy. I did this to them, and I could care less because they were wanting me to show action, so I showed it to them on how I can be an advantage player and how I can still save my bankroll and still make a little bit of money if the player does 7 out, or if he does hit the number that I do have money towards. So enough talking, let's get right into it. We're going to do green chips just for argument's sake, so that way I can show you the worst possible scenario, because there are a lot of $25 tables. So let's go ahead and just say the shooter throws a 9, the point's a 9, and the pit boss is telling you you must show action. There's two different ways you can do this, and a lot of casinos have stopped doing this because you can martingale, and there's been a couple of videos on showing you how to play the don't pass and the pass line. So that way you're basically showing action here, but you're canceling out your bets. So no matter what happens, if you hit the pass line, 7 or 11, you're going to make money. If they 7 out, you're going to lose. So the only way this can hurt you is if the shooter hits a 12, and then this will be a bar. So this will be like pretty much just a hold right here. You won't collect anything, but you will lose your pass line. So this is one thing where you would, if you do have 25 and 25 here, I recommend dropping $1 or $2 on the 12 if your casino allows you to do the do-we-don't system. A lot of casinos down here in Biloxi and New Orleans, they have stopped allowing players to do this, because some players, they'll sit there and they'll just start, the only thing they'll do is play this system, and they'll just increase their bets on whichever one they lose, and then whenever they hit, they'll decrease their bets. I'm not going to go into that strategy or not, but I just want to show you that this is one of the ways you can play, so that way you are showing action. A lot of casinos, they do not want you to do this, so they'll ask you to remove one, and now you're stuck with a contract bet. And what I was trying to do at first at the Silver Slipper was I played the dump pass on them, and I'll let them do a couple rolls, and then I'll quietly pull away my dump pass because it's a non-contract bet. They don't want you to have a dump pass because it's one of the best bets in the casino for the craps. And then the pit boss notices and says, "Hey, where did your $25 dump pass go?" And I said, "I pulled it off." And he goes, "No, you got to show action at every single time. You either have to have a pass line bet or you have to have action up here." And I do not want a pass line bet. I do not want a locked in $25. I want to be able to pull this bet down if I feel like the shooter is not worthy of hitting that point, especially if it hits a 4 or a 10. The odds are a lot lower that he's going to hit a 4 or 10 before he hits a 7. So what we are going to do is we are going to go ahead, and this is what I did at the Silver Slipper in Treasure Bay. I made a little bit of I was waiting for my turn basically, and I should have just left the casino. And I always recommend leaving the casino. I never recommend just going ahead and allowing the casino to dictate the terms of how you need to play. If they're going to start dictating the terms of how you need to play, just go ahead and pick up your chips and cash out and leave, and just go to another casino and just don't even go back to that casino, because obviously they're hurting for money and they don't care who they're going to hurt or how the customers are going to feel. So the way I did it was the points of 9. I dropped $25 in a DC bet. So I did a don't come bet. And this is almost kind of like the 3-point blender, except for it's a little bit different. And so what I would do is I would have $25 on a DC bet, and now there's a couple different ways you can lose the DC bet. You can make money if the shooter hits a 2. If the shooter hits a 3, you make $25. If he hits a 12, it's a bar. You break even. You don't win anything. It's just a push. Now there is 2 other numbers you can lose. You can hit the 11, the yo, and you can also hit the 7. Now, if you hit the 7, it doesn't matter if you have a DC bet. It doesn't matter if you have any of these numbers. You're pretty much, you're going to lose no matter what. That's the way I look at it. Now, if you do have a DC bet, and what I did was I would drop $2, and I would say $2 yo. So that way, if the shooter did hit an 11, I would make money. I would make $30, and then my $25 would come down, but I would make the $30 back up right here. Of course, after everything's all said and done, it'd be $28. But you can also bring back up the $25. You have a little bit of money, and then you just tell them to go ahead and bring and just keep the $2 on the yo. Give you $28. Put the $25 back in, and now you have a little bit of money. It's not a lot of money. We're not trying to make money. And so let's say the shooter goes ahead and hits it on the worst possible scenario on the hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had one of my neighbors is cutting the grass next to me, and I don't want my voice to be drowned out, so hopefully you can still hear me. So let's go ahead and say the worst possible scenario is that he hits a 6 or an 8, and you have a DC bet on there, which is one of the highest dice combinations on the board besides the 7. Is the 6 and the 8 has the highest dice combinations. So what you're going to do is you're going to drop 5. You're going to drop a quarter. You're going to drop a quarter, and then you're going to drop $5, and you're going to tell them you want $30 on the 8 on the front end as a place bet. Now, the worst case scenario is that you have an extra $5. So the worst case scenario is that he's going to 7 out, and you're going to lose $5. Now, the best case scenario is that you're showing action nonstop. And the other thing is that if he hits the 8, which is a highly probability that he's going to hit the 8, is that you're going to make $35. You're going to lose the $25, but you're going to make a $10 profit. And this is what was happening to me. I was hitting a lot of 6s and 8s at Treasure Bay and at the Silver Slipper, and I would be basically breaking. I would have $10. Sometimes I would lose on the pass line, I mean, on the place bet, but I would make it up on a DC bet right up here. You know, it will go right here, and then it'll be the $30, and then sometimes I'll lose $5. And if I'm at a $25 table, I'd much rather lose $5 than lose a $25 or a $30 place bet, and really start lowering my chances and lowering my bankroll this way. So this is probably the best way you can fight a casino. If you have to show action at every single bet, you got to have some kind of working action number. Well, this is the best way you can do it. I can tell you right now, the casinos, they were not happy when I went ahead and I put $30. I put the DC bet, and then I put, you know, I plugged it in the front, so that way, you know, the only thing I'm going to lose is $5 if they hit the 7. And I pretty much broke even until it was my turn to shoot. I shot a couple of times. After the third roll, I went ahead and pulled down my bets. I made $75 and of what I made for myself, and I pulled down my bets. I colored up, and I got out of the casino. I didn't even tip them, which is very rare. I always tip my dealers. I always appreciate the hard work that they do. But if a casino is forcing me to show action, I'm not going to tip that casino. I'm sorry, dealers. That's just how I am. I don't think you should force your players to keep on throwing money at you and do that. But so this is how I wanted to show you how to fight back, showing action at every single play. You're going to do a DC bet. You're going to drop, you know, whatever it is. You know, if it's only $15 table, you can drop a $1 yo if you want to. You know, I always recommend 2, even if it's $15 or less. That way you're going to make a little bit of money, and that way you're not just kind of like pushing. And then it's going to go to whatever number, 4 through 10, and then you're going to put it right here. The dealer's going to put it right here, and then you're just going to drop. Now, if you go anywhere else, you know, say if you have, if you're at a $15 table, you know, you're going to have $15 on a DC bet up here, and then you're going to have $18 here. So the worst case scenario is you're going to lose $3. This is the best investment to hedge against showing action at all the time. And they can't say anything. You have working bets. In fact, you have a lot of money on the table. Right now we have, you know, $55 working if we have both of these both in place. So they can't say you're not showing enough action or enough money on the table. You know, you have $55 right there. So send me your comments. Let me know if any other casinos around the nation are forcing you to show action, or if it's these smaller time casinos in Mississippi that are making you show action. But hopefully this helps you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment. And thank you for tuning in. And let me know if there's anything else I can help you guys with. And I'll talk to you guys later.